Hey, what is up, guys? Evan Aldo here. I want to give you guys an update on Bitcoin, Ethereum. We're going to talk about the Dixie as well. Things look interesting today. There's definitely a decent case for us to be bullish until midterms. It's kind of the way I'm mapping it out right now. Very interesting market. But first things first, I want you guys to follow my Twitch live streams every weekday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time for now. So check it out. Please follow my Twitch. We have a lot of fun on there. And also, really good airdrop for BITGET, only with my link down below, free $100 USDT position. Read the details here. It's pretty easy to get, so check that out. Link in the description below. All right, guys, let's get right into the analysis here. So the thing first that we're looking at is, we kind of had a fake out for Bitcoin and ETH, when you came down here. Now it looks like we absolutely could be breaking out of this thing. We have a technical target around this spiral line at, 21. It's a little bit subjective. I mean, it could be, I kind of do it from, you find a place, kind of, it could be even higher, kind of this trajectory, but I would do it less or so, kind of like from, this high to this kind of low over here, this area where I would map it out from. I know some skilled, technical TA guys would say I'm probably doing it wrong, but I'm not the biggest traditional TA guy. I think a lot of times you don't even get anywhere near, your targets, or you go right past through them. So that's why I'll use market side for more. But anyway, right around this area. And you absolutely could get up to that point before midterms, given how the Dixie's looking, given how a lot of things are looking here. Now, let's see what we're looking at. Higher time frames here. Not really a 16-day, nothing to really get out of there. 12-day, you're coming into the red. I'd say it's a little bit more bearish, and that means we could, come down after midterms, absolutely, or maybe even before. Who knows? Anything could happen. But looking at some of these ones, your VWAP's curving up on your 10-day. It looks like we could have a little bit of gas left in the tank here, a little bit of juice. Especially look at this, and maybe hard to see this hike and ashy candle is getting green. You could come up a bit here with that pump. And then here's really your bullish case. Some good curvature here, green dots in your 3-day. Your 2-day coming into the green. This is a bit of a double-edged sword. Obviously, 2-day coming in the green with good curvature looks very bullish at face value, but we look at what happened here. This was the pandemic, and we look at what happened. What's more similar? 2018, right here. See, we're at kind of that point, so it just was choppy, and then you came down. However, what I want to kind of map out as a possible kind of target here is maybe something like from this bottom to this top, where we could end up. Maybe another 5% or more, something of that nature. Where would 5% bring us to if we were to pump up 5% from where we are right now? 20, a little bit above 20, 21. These general areas I think are possible, and you still would be kind of in this sideways range. And then I think after midterms, especially if the Republicans take over the House, a lot more people are going to be saying we're in a recession, and just the fear of that is going to bring the markets down, in my opinion. And I think we're about halfway through this trajectory, halfway through this bear market, at least for S&P 500, NASDAQ. Bitcoin and Ethereum look like they could bottom out quite a bit before those bottom out. Gold and silver bottom out about halfway through. We'll talk about silver a little bit. They bottom out about halfway through typically in recessions. They could be bottomed out right now. I only think it could be one more leg down for gold and silver. Bitcoin, Ethereum, they could act a little bit more like gold and silver. Maybe there's that possibility where 17K was the bottom with that. I don't think so. I really don't think so, but we're playing it by ear. We're looking at it. We're seeing what's happening. Even if it is, I don't think anything crazy is going to happen, within the next year of coming anywhere near all-time highs of that nature. So that's the thing you got to realize too. What could really get volatile and pump up a lot is silver, and I'll show you why towards at the end of this video. But yeah, I like the curvature here in terms of looking for a potential long. I do have got stopped out of an ETH short. ETH has been tough lately to trade because ETH is the other altcoins, they're not pumping up as much. This is more of a Bitcoin Ethereum led rally. So if you're going to be going short, I mean, it's mainly the other altcoins aside from Bitcoin and ETH now. I do think Bitcoin is going to start to really outperform ETH, but ETH has really, surpassed a lot of expectations here and how it's done. My view is there's more paper hands with it, with all the people buying in from the merge, so they're due to kind of panic sell. And that could happen, absolutely. You could have that capitulation after midterms, but seems like until then, Seems like until then, we seem to be coming up a little bit more here. Looking, if you're looking to go possibly even swing long, for the next week or so, probably the next week, maybe a little less actually. This money flow crossover looks big on the 2 hour. And let's kind of map out where we could end up from that. It's probably going to be, a type of trajectory, something like this, 5%, what I was saying. And, if you get 5% from here, that's about 20 to 21K. So this area is going to be huge, I feel like. And yeah, I mean, the last time we got up higher here, you just passed right through. I think this time you're going to see more resistance around this area. I don't think you're just going to pump up right through out of nowhere. That's kind of my gut instinct on it. So yeah. And then kind of money flow crossover on your 6 hour here. Sorry if I'm going kind of out of order with these time frames. This is probably the same trajectory, kind of like this to this, about a 5%, or everything is looking about 5% to midterms. So big area, about 20.8K. I do have a trade in for this in the exclusive Discord. I would recommend waiting until November though to sign up. It's through Patreon, because you will be double charged on the first. That's how Patreon works. So yeah. And let's move on to Ethereum here. So your technical target is a bit higher, and this is interesting. I mean, I feel like there is a possibility there's going to be some probably resistance around here, 1450, but there is a possibility to get up to this point, which is what your technical target out of this wedge is. We are coming into the green, but be careful. The RSIs are very split now. They could kind of, this is kind of why I got stopped out of a short over here, because they were curving down. There's a lot of bearish things. I thought most likely we would just break down, come down to the bottom of the range. No, just a nice breakout there. This could bring it, this could bring us to this area. I think when these RSIs get a little bit higher here, look at this. I mean, maybe they'll come up a little bit higher towards the end of the month. Then you'll kind of see the top in like 5 days or more, or a little bit more. Time frames over here, coming into the green in the daily, that's usually pretty bullish. Your 2-day starting to get a little high up here. I could see it coming a little bit higher. Yeah, a little bit higher here into midterms, maybe around the 20 area right there. You see that kind of that level possibly. And then your weekly, this isn't a bullish div, I don't believe. Yeah, this is not a bullish div, which makes me think we'll roll over after this kind of plays out. 5 days till this confirms. This could be one of those where it confirms and then you're kind of done. Then you just start coming down. That's what I'm kind of feeling like here. So yeah. And then some of these time frames, just like Bitcoin, if we map out this money flow crossover on the that's 19% right there on the 6 hour, but it's 19% probably from this area. So that would be right around here, right around this area, 1600. It's possible. Big short squeeze. Funding fees are very high in favor of longs right now. A lot of people are going short right now. So that is your argument to get in on this short squeeze if you're trying to go long. I would say because Bitcoin dominance is so bullish, that I would stick kind of with the Bitcoin long, be safer. But Ethereum's not really an altcoin anymore, so it's kind of proven itself here. I think if when you really start to see Ethereum bleed against Bitcoin again, I think it's going to be at least 5 days from now, at least once that weekly confirms, that weekly green dot confirms. And the other way I've been mapping this out kind of towards midterms, look at this on the daily on the Dixie here. What I think is you're going to do something of this nature, maybe a little bit sooner, up until November 8th, that's midterms, up until this area. Retest this for kind of a healthy correction on the way up. And what I think for the Dixie, a lot of people are wondering, when is this going to top out? It looks like we're kind of, since we're halfway through the bear market for the stock market, S&P 500, NASDAQ, I think it's going to be kind of a repeat of, what we saw since, June, May, just a trajectory like this. Maybe we come down a little bit here, and then you kind of repeat that trajectory up to, I think 130. I don't think you're going to get as high as you got in the 1980s, but I think, shy, unless we go into a Great Depression, something crazy happens. But I think this is pretty realistic for a bottom of a recession. This would bring you around, when would this happen? Mid to quarter 2, quarter 3 of 2023, I think, for a top. That's where I think it's going to top. And I think it's this general trajectory. We're due for kind of a red dot like this, a little crossword down, kind of like what we saw in the 80s. 6-7% down, something of that nature, 4% down that area, come down to 105. and then keep going up. And that's kind of what you'd expect because nothing goes, up in a straight line completely. So yeah, moving on to, what could be a really good buy right now, what I've really looked at. And this is kind of, if we look at silver, kind of what happens is in recessions, if we go back in recessions, what you look at is, where is it in, one or whatever. Here you can't see it as well, but you came down and you bottom out about halfway through. So you bottomed out, I think the actual market, bottomed out in '02, but this bottomed out and it looks like August of '01. Same thing here. This was a faster trajectory. This bottomed out in November of '08. The market didn't bottom. The stock market didn't bottom until sometime in '09. So you're about halfway through, and it looks kind of similar to how we are right here. You bottomed out. You're showing some green on the monthly hiking, which is really, really bullish in my opinion. Some of them roll over, but this is pretty bullish. I think you could fit that trajectory, and I think there's a strong likelihood. We come into a bad recession here. Over the course of the next few years, you could toy with possibly some of these areas, maybe even all-time highs for this. So I think this is going to be a big thing too. And, let's say Bitcoin, even if Bitcoin's bottomed out right now and you just kind of see an accumulation year in 2023, maybe you come up to 30K. Silver has, well, first what I want to show you is silver has big jumps. Look at kind of how we were here. That was a 95% jump. You may outperform. You may absolutely be able to outperform Bitcoin for the next year or so, maybe even longer here. And that's what we saw silver outperform the NASDAQ pretty well from '01 to 2011. So if we look at silver versus Bitcoin on the monthly, first time ever, you're coming into the green here. It's a double-edged sword for this a bit, because if we look at the weekly, I believe, it looks like every time you come into the green on the weekly, you're at that area where it just rolls over, right here, just rolls over. This could be the time where you kind of see a lot more momentum, especially with the monthly. And I could see, something of this nature possibly back up to these areas, maybe outperforming it by, repeating what we saw so far, possibly by 100% over next year or so. And then if we see, that's where we see the next, say mid to late 2024, we see the next bull market really start for Bitcoin, then that's the time to get back into Bitcoin. So that's one possibility. This is I think it's going to be a good asset. I know I sound like I'm some Peter Schiff aficionado right now. I'm not, don't worry guys, but yeah. So if you enjoyed the video, please like the video, please subscribe to the channel, please check out my link to BITGET down below. A really good promo for that. Check out my Twitch. We go live 6 p.m. tonight, so check it out. Please follow the Twitch. We have a lot of fun on there. Stop by. Tell me what you want me to look at. So yeah, and let's see my course down below as well, evanaldo.com. Coupon code bearmarket20. All of this is in the links down below, so check it all out, guys. Hope you have a great day.